Bojo, Kwekwe, Scano, Tanzi. It's Catherine here from Moonstarlodge, coming to you from Indigenous territory in Central Ontario. And I have a reading for the week of August 15th to the 21st. And the Ides of August. This month goes so quickly, and it's my favorite month of the year. We are still in the third quarter of She Who Heals, and by the 27th of this month, we step into the 9th moon cycle of Setting Sun Woman. But we're still very much dealing with the healing aspects, and that's healing at all levels. Physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. So, the people ask me what kind of spreads I use, and apart from the medicine wheel spread, I really don't have a focused spread. Because I channel, I listen to the ramblings of spirit, and I tend to pull out 6 or 7 cards and then clarifiers. I try to match up the decks and energetically as much as visually. Although I'm very inspired by the art, I have to look at the energy of the decks. So let's go to the decks. Let's go to the cards, actually. So this week, it's the Prairie Majesty Oracle for the animal totems, the Elemental Oracle for elements, Earth Alchemy for plants and crystals, the Heart and Hands Tarot, which is a beautiful tarot, very 60s, the Morgan's Tarot, which isn't really a tarot at all, more of an oracle, although the author, Morgan Robbins, wherever he is, I would like to talk to Morgan Robbins because nobody seems to be able to find him. I'd used these cards earlier this week, and it really took me back to the 60s. I'm also using the Cards and Winds of Changes by Judith Pintar, which I don't have a box for. So here are the 7 Heart and Hands Tarot cards. Here is a Morgan's Tarot card, the Prairie Majesty, Judith Pintar's Earth of Winds and Changes, the Elemental Oracle by Stacy DeMarco, 2 cards from the Earth Alchemy Oracle, and another card we felt needed to be pulled from the Prairie Majesty Oracle. So I looked at this and thought, my goodness, this is a bit of a dog's breakfast tarot spread, but really when I assessed it in light of the cards that were pulled to clarify, it kind of snapped into focus here. So we have the Princess of Cups, we have the Princess of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Swords. Sometimes with the court cards, you're looking at the influence of people, male or female. Don't let the gender thing bias you, who these people might be. They may be external to you, but they can also be or represent attributes that you and I need to take on during this week. And of the 2 states here, I am inclined, based on everything I'm reading, to say that these are attributes that we need to take on rather than to look from them or from others. So that's just kind of a setup statement as I go through this. So this Princess of Cups is a lovely young lady looking off into the cosmos here, into the dream time. She's drinking a cup of coffee at a cafe and journaling and making notes. The attributes of this card, this is a very loyal, very young, almost naive individual, male or female, very artistic, bringing the intuitive aspect, because the cups are emotion and intuition. So I see this as not naive in the sense of unwise or immature, but rather with a refreshed view of something, as if you are seeing something new again. I come to that because the tarot here is door to the Akashic records. So we are being told that what's happening here has a karmic attribution. It's also about steps we are taking that have a very profound aspect in our life. So we have to come at this, no matter how old we are, from the point of view of intuitive, dreamy, thoughtful, making journaled preparations, that sort of thing. All right, so what might this be? Well, it sounds like there's some grief here, and what may have set up this thoughtful need to rethink something through. This young woman is looking directly at the 3 spilled cups, the wall of tears, but I hope that she's looking for the fact that there are still 2 full cups here, which is to be consoled. There is the aspect of consolation here. So it's not the end of the world kind of grief or sadness. She's really contemplating it, and that's a good thing. She's doing this the right way, dealing with a situation that's brought her grief. And why is that important? Because we've got the 6 of Wands, which is moving. You can't be focused on the grief because there's a movement toward accolade. It's kind of a group accolade as well as personal. This is a laurel wreath. This is the wearing. This is a crowning moment. This crowning moment is followed by the Fool, and this is the beginning of another stage in life. So this is a person who's walked through the major arcana at least once, if not twice. A new journey taking us up a notch, as Emerald Lagasse says. So this is where we get this idea that the Akashic records, the door is open for you to access what it is you're taking to the next level. It's followed immediately by the Death card. And the Death card is change and transition. So this is an important thing to know. There is profound change. So if you're sad that a door is closing, don't be, because the Fool is setting us up for the fact that a new journey is beginning. Just let the old paradigm go. Which brings us to another dreamy, thoughtful young woman sitting there with her beautiful jewelry on, the Princess of Pentacles. This is new ideas, new knowledge. This is a young in perspective, let's call it. We won't call it immature. We will call it, again, learning as if we are learning something for the first time. Very similar concept here to the Princess of Cups. This Princess of Pentacles is saying you're rising to the occasion and not letting past circumstances or past experiences ruin how you view this new opportunity. It's balance here, seeing the new and not getting overwhelmed by the old. These 2 princesses bring us back to the current place with this Queen of Swords. This Queen of Swords is typically, historically depicted as an older woman, looking rather pensive and sad here. She's got her sword at the ready. She's actually cutting at her own hair here. The idea is you are using experience and clarity. She brings clarity, those big eyes, see well and with a wisdom, not to sully and not to ruin the joyfulness of this new beginning, but to recognize that, yeah, it's moving forward and this is how I have to do it. So you're bringing the wisdom of the past and not letting it be sullied by fear. This is very much looking at this new journey in a new way, and it is going to be successful, and it is going to be karmically correct for you. So let's see what this dotem has to say. This is Mountain Lion. Is my pursuit both honorable and focused? The key word is stalk. So you're going after this with focus, with clarity, and with integrity. Why the integrity? Because this is part of your karma. Anything done without integrity is going to knock it down a notch, so to speak, and create grief. So stay in an honorable place, taking the high road as you pursue this new journey. One of the ways that the cougar stalks, mountain lions and cougars and pumas are all the same variant of the same animal. So how they stalk is to adapt stillness. And this is the next card from the ancestors. I use the Pintar deck as words from the ancestors. Stillness is to be as still as this tree. You'll see that the figure is rooted in this tree of life, and the arms become the branches. There is stillness and there is strength in stillness. So you bring the stillness as you stalk your next steps on this journey with integrity and honor. The ice card is interesting. This is an element of ice. It's asking you to move forward, but to freeze out the things that no longer serve you. This is where the healing part of She Who Heals comes in. Don't be dragging into this new pursuit something which has hurt you in the past or something which is no longer in alignment with this new pursuit. So you freeze it out. That's the element of stasis. Stasis is also part of stillness. So you're taking the time to analyze what is preventing you possibly from moving forward. That's where the clarity of this Queen of Swords is helpful. This card is Selenite and Willow Tree. It's the goddess spiral. It's rites of passage, dreams, and support. You are supported. This is where the consolation comes, and this is where this group effort concept comes from. So there is support. So the crystal is selenite, and the plant medicine is willow tree. And we doused, Brian doused for me, and it was indicated that another card was needed from this alchemy deck. So we have blue kyanite and honeysuckle. Oh, and I didn't see this before, the sword of truth. Well, there we go. There's the Queen's sword. Freedom, warrior of light, stop holding yourself back. Well, that's very much what the Queen of Swords would carry. And finally, the last thing is, what riches do I carry within? This isn't an animal. This is prairie soil. What are you rooted in? What have you pulled from the soil to nourish you? And it says hold. Wow, this is quite powerful. It isn't the dog's breakfast that I thought it was when I first briefly looked at it. You can flip the camera, Brian. What a beautiful message. And know that these court cards here, the princesses, of which there are two, and the queens, can represent people external to you, but more, I think, to the point, as I mentioned earlier. It's better to look at the attributes of these court cards and find those attributions within yourself. Anyway, I wish you a good week, and Brian wishes you a good week, and take care. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. We're still going after those 1,000 subscribers to give away readings and decks. And if you feel so inclined, shoot me a coffee down there. The link is below in the description. Blessed be Aho.